Hey guys, here we go into the explanation for Grease Lightning. First of all, you need 4 aces and 4 kings. Doesn't have to be aces and kings, could be kings and 5s, 4s and aces, 3s and queens. It doesn't matter, it's really up to you. You'll notice how I have the black aces sandwiched in between the red aces and the black kings sandwiched in between the red kings. This is going to provide for a discrepancy at the end of the trick, so when we get to that point, I'll point it out to you and I'll show you why this setup is important. So first what we need to do is we need to take the 4 aces here and you do a reverse spread. If you're ever confused about what a reverse spread is, the uppermost card, in this case the ace of hearts, should be closest to the pack. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these aces face down on the pack, but in the process I'm going to get a big break in between the ace of hearts and the ace of spades. Okay? So here's what's going to happen. It's really simple. You just stick your pinky in between those 2 aces as you flip the cards over. And that looks like this. There goes the pinky. You can see it going in, just like that. And I flip them all over. That gives me this giant break in the back. What that's going to allow me to do is Ernest Eric's Elevated Add-on from his book by Forces Unseen. Or you can just do the standard Browie edition if you do not have that book. Pick up the 4 kings in end grip, spread out like so. Now, as the kings approach the thumb here, when this king here touches that thumb, just relax your grip. All you have to do is let this finger go and this finger go, and it kind of elevates up. When that happens, you can do the elevated add-on, like so. All right? What I've just done is add 3 cards, 3 aces, to the back of the 4 kings. So now, you've got a 7-card packet in your hand. You're going to peel off the top king, in this case the king of diamonds, and you're going to use this packet to flip that king of diamonds face down. You're going to do the same thing with the 2nd king, the same thing with the 3rd king. When you get to that 4th king and the 3 aces underneath it, you just simply plop it down on the deck right there. Immediately thumb over the face-up king, the last king, and flip it face down on the deck. What you've just done is switch out, via the Browie switch, 3 aces for 3 kings. So now that you've switched out 3 aces for 3 kings, you take the uppermost card, in this case the king, and put it about 5 to 10 cards from the bottom. You take the 2nd apparent king, in reality an ace, and place it about 5 to 10 cards above the bottommost card. Take the 3rd apparent king, in reality an ace, and the 4th apparent king, in reality an ace, and once again separate them by about 5 to 10 cards. Now what you're going to do here is you're going to push over the top 4 cards, and you're going to turn them all over as a block so that none of these cards, the kings, flash underneath this ace. So you're just going to push them over, just like that, and let them coalesce and fall flush on top of the deck. So now you've got your cover ace with 3 kings underneath, your cover king with 3 aces underneath. So you show the aces, show the kings. You say, watch the kings, watch the aces, watch them close, they'll trade places. And as you do this, your middle finger here pushes these cards over towards the crotch of the thumb here. That way. You get ready to do Pew's pass. You get your anchor points going, and you do Pew's pass. immediately grab the deck in end grip, and you're going to wrap the card around this way so that the bottom, or so that the face of the card is facing the table or the floor in this position. You're now going to immediately, and you don't, by the way, you don't want to keep this card flush with the deck. You want to keep it separated just a little bit, right there, because you're immediately going to do Vernon's Strip Out Edition, taking this card with these cards, like so. Okay, so now you've got 5 cards here, 3 cards on top of the deck. Immediately table the deck. Okay, flip over the packet in your hand. Now you've got an ace, a king, and 3 aces. This is where the discrepancy comes in. Red king, red king. Watch what happens. I'm going to strip out the back ace. I'm going to strip out the second back ace. And now I'm going to strip out the third ace, leaving a double here with the king right there. So strip the bottom ace out, the next bottom ace, the next bottom ace. Drop the double onto that king. Red king onto red king. Drop the ace, drop the ace, drop the last ace. You've just caused 4 kings and 4 aces to change places, and that's Grease Lightning. Okay, guys, here we go into the another explanation for Grease Lightning. This is the second version. It's a little bit easier. Once again, it does use the 4 aces. You don't have to have that setup that we talked about before where the cards were sandwiched, or the colors were sandwiched. You do need a little something extra here. You need the kings, but you need a duplicate king of spades. I use the king of spades. Could be any king, but so for this, you need the duplicate king of spades here. So the setup is that you've got the 4 kings and then the duplicate at the very back so that the 2 are together. So in this case, king of spades, 3 kings in any order, 4 aces in any order. Okay, it doesn't matter. The aces should be on top of the kings. So you got the kings on the bottom, aces on top. So you're going to push over the aces one at a time, showing each face individually. There's the first ace. There's the second ace. There's the third ace. And there's the fourth ace. When I show that fourth ace, this hand just kind of ducks back like this, and I'm going to get a break between the 2 king of spades with my pinky. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to simply push over with my thumb just a hair. You can see how it's doing that? And I'm going to, I push over with my thumb, and then I push back with my pinky. And that gives me a separation in between the 2 kings. I've shown the aces. I place them back on top of the pack, face down, and I immediately let my thumb take over that break. And I take now 5 cards, the 4 aces, plus the duplicate king of spades, and I take it away. I take the packet away and use this packet here to flip these 4 kings face up into my other hand. Now I'm going to count these kings onto this packet so that they're in a back-to-back position, but I need to make sure that that king of spades is now the uppermost king. So when I do that, by reverse counting the kings like so. There's 1, and I hold it in place with my forefinger so it doesn't go anywhere. There's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. So now, because of the way we just situated the cards, we've got a king of spades here and a king of spades here. This is going to allow us to do the next move, which is Bruce Servan's Novrek turnover, which can be found in his black and white trick book, which was printed by L&L Publishing. Basically, you have the deck in dealing position, and there are two free corners, kinda, if you think about it. The corner towards your thumb and the corner towards your pinky. You're going to grab those two corners with the thumb and the middle finger, like so. Now, look where my heel is here. Okay, the heel of my hand is going to press down. And this is going to be done, by the way, in a motion of doing an all-around square up. And it's going to happen, as I do this all-around square up, the packet is going to flip over, like that. So we'll get back into it, and that's it. We'll do it one more time. The thumb, not the thumb, the heel, the base of the thumb, the heel of the hand pushes down and completes that all-around square-up motion. One more time at speed. There. What that does is that situates the four aces face up underneath the duplicate king, and the four kings face down with the king of spades at the face. So what I do from this point is I supposedly peel off the four aces from the bottom side of this packet here. In reality, they're the four kings. And I just peel them off individually one at a time. There's one, there's two, there's three, there's four. Immediately table this packet. I take these supposed aces and put them in the center, right about there. Okay? You pick up the entire packet, or the entire pack with the kings in the center, angle jogged as in the original Grease Lightning. Pick up this packet and put it face up on top of the face down deck, and now you're going to do Pew's Pass. And you're going to make it so that this card wraps around to the bottom so it's face down. So you do Pew's Pass. There you go. And now all you have to do, because you used a duplicate card, is immediately spread the top four cards showing the four aces, and then just cleanly strip out the four out-jog cards, and you'll be able to have a direct transposition between four kings and four aces. Hey guys, here we go with a trick called Snap Exchange. It's based on Bill Goodwin's Slap Exchange. A little bit easier to do. Just like the second variation of Grease Lightning Transpo, it uses four aces. There you go. A little bit better. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kings. One of those kings has got to be a duplicate, and that's got to be the order. Four aces, any order. Two kings, in this case the king of spades, so king of spades, and then three kings, any order. Pretty much the trick is going to be exactly the same as in the second variation of Grease Lightning, except we're going to start off by spreading the pack face up on the table. So you show the four aces one at a time, just like before. There's one, there's two, there's three, and there's four. When you show that fourth ace, you're going to get a break, one-handed, in between the two king of spades. And we're going to do that simply by pushing over with your thumb the top card and then pushing back with the pinky, the little finger, and that'll get you a separation in between the two king of spades. These four aces will go down onto the king pack there, okay? Now you've got a break below 5 cards. You take the 5 cards in end grip and use these 5 cards to flip over this 4 king packet. And now you're going to reverse count these 4 kings, I should say, onto this packet here. And it's going to look like this. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. And the reason we did that reverse count, the same as in the second variation of Grease Lightning, is to situate the King of Spades here with the King of Spades here, because that's going to set us up for Bruce Irvan's Novrek turnover. So it's going to appear that we simply do an all-around square up. In reality, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the packet over. My thumb is going to grab this corner closest to my little finger here. My middle finger is going to grab this corner where my thumb is, like that. The heel of my hand is going to push down, and I'm going to come around and square. Now I've got those 4 aces face up underneath my duplicate King of Spades. Let's do that again. I just go like this, and that's it. A very casual move. Looks like you just squared the cards. So now, on the other side, apparently, on the bottom side, the audience, as far as they're aware, we have 4 aces. So let's apparently peel those 4 apparent aces out off of the bottom. In reality, they're the 4 kings, because the aces are on the underside of this packet here. So we're going to drop the ace-king packet face up on the table. These 4 supposed aces are going to go in separate portions of the pack. We're simply going to square up the pack just like that. And we're going to take the pack and we're going to turn it face down and place it right there in the middle of the table. You're going to pick up the king packet, which is in reality the 4 aces with the duplicate king. You're going to pick up this packet off of the table and place it face up on the face down pack. You pick up the entire pack and you get ready to do Pew's Pass. So let's go into Pew's Pass, and when we do Pew's Pass, we're going to make it so it goes to the bottom this way instead of as a regular pass. So you do Pew's Pass, the transposition takes place, and you simply spread out the 4 aces to show that the 4 kings have changed to the aces, and then you immediately spread the deck, and you can show that 1 king, 2 kings, 3 kings, 4 kings now occupy the places in the pack where the aces just were. And that's snap exchange. All right, guys, here we go with the explanation for Joyride. You need 4 court cards. Ask them, the audience members, which color they want. Let's say that they want the black jacks. So that means we're going to eliminate the red jacks. And the way I do that is really simple. I just put them in the middle, and I'm going to jog them out the back corner here and cut them to the top. And the way I do that is just by holding the pack more or less from the middle finger here and the thumb, and you just push on that corner that was closest to the thumb, and it'll automatically jog out. Open-handed, it'll look just like that. So now we're jogged here, okay? My little finger is going to pull down and create a separation between the red jacks and the upper portion of the pack. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the shift as described in the technique section. So we do the shift, bringing the red jacks to the top. So now what we're going to do is place 1 blackjack on top, the other blackjack on bottom. And we have someone touch a card. So let's say they touch this card here, and we are going to do Ernest Derrick's version of the convincing control, which can be found in By Forces Unseen. To give you a brief explanation, you're going to want to fan deep in the hand like this. Make sure that the finger runs pretty parallel to the spread here. And you can see how this card kind of bounces like that. That's because I'm just barely holding onto it with the forefinger and the middle finger here. All right, so that's just barely there. My ring finger is actually going to pull that 7 of clubs parallel using the middle finger as a pivot point. And that's going to go just like that. And even from the back, it's pretty much invisible. So here's the back of the indifferent card, just to show you what it looks like real time here. There you go. We're going to place this there. This is the indifferent card. We're going to place it out-jogged on the bottom portion of the pack, and the thumb is going to clamp down. And now we are going to simply call that 7 to the bottom, like this. All right? We push in the indifferent card, and now we're going to do that shift, as previously described. That centers the 7 in between the 2 black jacks. So here's your stock. We cut the whole stock up to the top here. And then we out-jog the selection, and we have them take it, and there's your 7. Now, as they take it, I push over the 2 cards that are underneath the black jacks. These will be the 2 red jacks. There they are. And I square them up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do J.K. Hartman's secret subtraction move. So I push over these cards underneath, and I take all 4 cards forward like this. And we're going to take the top blackjack, and we are going to basically pull it off the packet here, and we're going to flip it underneath the packet, but keep it separated by an Erdnase break. And this can be found in Erdnase. It's just a break up front with the pinky instead of at the back with a thumb. This is actually superior when dealing with small packets because there's no separation to be seen here. All right, so you have the Jack of Spades right there, and what's going to happen is we're going to come down and